What happens when timeless wisdom confronts unrivaled charisma? Seneca, the Stoic philosopher guiding minds toward virtue, self-control, and the mastery of desire, faces Cleopatra, the queen whose charm, strategy, and political cunning reshaped empires. Witness the ultimate battle of inner power versus outward influence. Stay with us until the end. Comment who you think has the upper hand, and subscribe to see more legendary clashes. Welcome to the debate of Cleopatra versus Seneca.
Cleopatra, your influence is legendary, and history remembers your presence as a force that shaped nations and swayed powerful men. Yet I ask, what is power without the mastery of oneself? True authority is not merely the sway over others, but the governance of one's own mind. While empires rise and fall, the virtuous soul remains steadfast, untouched by the whims of fortune. Ambition and charm can bend the world, yet they cannot bend the will within. A life ruled by desire, by the pursuit of admiration and dominance, is ever at the mercy of chance. The Stoic seeks freedom through reason, discipline, and the alignment of actions with virtue. To influence the mind, the soul, and the character is to hold power far beyond the reach of armies or treasures. You wielded charm as a weapon, political acumen as a tool, and beauty as a strategy. Admirable, yes, but all are external, fleeting, dependent on the gaze of others and the shifting tides of circumstance. The Stoic sees that fortune is indifferent, that praise and blame are transient, and that no external accolade secures the tranquility of the mind. We must cultivate inner resilience, act justly, and temper desires, for these are the sources of enduring influence. Even rulers, whose names echo across centuries, cannot escape the universal law. The only true control we possess is over our own reasoned choices. Cleopatra, the world may bow to your will, yet the Stoic soul bows only to virtue, reason, and the natural order. Power over others is subject to misfortune. Mastery of the self is invincible. As I observe your reign, I remind all. The pursuit of greatness is commendable, but it must be accompanied by wisdom, temperance, and integrity. Desire unchecked leads to turmoil, fear, and dependence upon forces beyond one's control. The Stoic path ensures that even in the midst of chaos, the mind is serene, the soul upright, and the individual free from slavery to fortune or passion. Take heed. Influence over kingdoms fades. Influence over character endures. The legacy of virtue outlasts the fleeting triumphs of cunning, seduction, and strategic maneuvering. True greatness is measured not by the power one commands externally, but by the fortitude, clarity, and moral rectitude one sustains within.
Seneca, your words honor the virtues of reason, self-mastery, and the pursuit of moral rectitude. I hear them, yet I must remind all that power is not only measured by serenity of the mind, but also by the ability to shape the world, to bend events to one's will, and to protect one's people through influence and strategy. A ruler who refuses to engage with the world's trials under the banner of virtue alone risks losing everything that can be gained. I am Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, a woman whose very presence commanded alliances, loyalty, and fear across the Mediterranean. My power is not theoretical. It is tangible, exercised in the halls of diplomacy, in the heat of battle, and in the delicate negotiation of empires. While you speak of detachment, I speak of action. While you extol calmness, I wield opportunity. The world responds to decisiveness, to charisma, and to courage. Without action, philosophy is but idle thought. You counsel mastery over the self, and I agree that internal discipline is essential. Yet, what is virtue if it does not manifest in the arena of life? Influence, judgment, and strategic thinking are not superficial. They are the tools by which one safeguards a nation, protects allies, and ensures that destiny is not left to chance alone. I have relied upon intellect, charm, and courage in equal measure to survive plots, rivalries, and the ever-shifting sands of politics. These were not victories of the mind alone, but of the mind applied decisively in the real world. Stoic serenity is admirable, Yet the world does not pause for reflection. Fortunes shift, enemies strike, and opportunities vanish for those who wait too long. To achieve greatness, one must balance inner wisdom with external action, knowledge with influence, and prudence with daring. I am Cleopatra, a sovereign who understands both the power of self-mastery and the necessity of commanding the world around her. Let all understand this. Power that does not act is powerless, and wisdom that does not protect or shape reality is incomplete. The Stoic may endure misfortune, but the ruler must bend fortune to her purpose. I embrace my virtues and my desires alike, for they are inseparable tools of survival, influence, and legacy. In the end, mastery of the self and mastery of the world are both needed to leave a mark that echoes through history.
Cleopatra, your reputation for influence and seduction precedes you. Yet I ask all listening, what is the value of power that is dependent on others' whims, on fortune, or on fleeting admiration? The Stoic teaches that true strength is internal. It does not waver with circumstance, it does not bow to the opinions of men, and it cannot be taken by betrayal or shifting alliances. While kingdoms rise and fall, the man or woman who masters their own mind achieves an invincible domain. Virtue, self-control, and reason form the foundation upon which any meaningful life must be built. You speak of alliances, charm, and strategy, but these are tools of the external world, subject to chance, envy, and human error. They offer temporary advantage, but they cannot secure tranquility, integrity, or moral clarity. The soul, when disciplined, stands unshaken regardless of the fortunes of empires or the fickleness of the powerful. Consider this: ambition without restraint is a flame that burns brightly but consumes all around it. Desire unchecked leads to turbulence, manipulation, and eventual downfall. To govern oneself is far nobler than to govern nations. To master impulses is more enduring than to command armies. True influence springs from wisdom, fairness, and ethical action, not from intimidation or allure. A ruler who neglects the cultivation of inner virtue may hold power briefly, but it is a precarious and fragile dominion. Even in your world of diplomacy, plots, and persuasion, one must ask, what can be truly relied upon? Fortune favors none, and those who lean on external power are perpetually at its mercy. Only by anchoring oneself in reason, temperance, and justice does one find security that cannot be shaken by betrayal, envy, or the tides of fate. The Stoic path is not a call to passivity, it is a call to action guided by wisdom, courage, and moderation. I urge those listening to reflect. Greatness achieved through manipulation or seduction is fleeting. Greatness rooted in virtue endures. Power that corrupts the soul is an illusion, and glory without wisdom is hollow. We must act, yes, but our actions must serve the good, be measured by reason, and aligned with eternal principles that transcend fortune's caprice. This debate is not merely about who can command kingdoms, but about who commands the self, for mastery over the mind is the ultimate, unassailable empire. Cleopatra, your talents are impressive, yet I ask, will they outlast fortune? Or will inner virtue be the true legacy that endures across the ages?
Seneca, your words inspire reflection, yet they live in a realm far removed from the battleground of life. Virtue, self-control, and the calm of the mind are admirable, but they cannot alone shape kingdoms, secure alliances, or bend fate to one's favor. Power demands presence, courage, and the capacity to act decisively when opportunity arrives. Waiting for the perfect moment, or for moral clarity to settle completely, is a luxury the world rarely affords. I have ruled nations, navigated treacheries, and captivated the hearts of men who could have undone me with a single misstep. My power is measured not only in strategy, but in the ability to act with precision, using intellect and charisma together. History is written by those who engage, who seize, and who manipulate circumstance with calculated wisdom. To possess virtue without engaging the world is to remain in the shadows while others claim the stage. Charm, influence, and the delicate art of persuasion are not antithetical to reason. They are its most potent applications. I have survived by understanding human desire, anticipating ambition, and acting when others hesitated. Discipline alone could not have preserved my throne. It was action guided by foresight and awareness that ensured endurance. So, Seneca, I say this: the mind must govern, but the hand must move. Contemplation without execution is as impotent as a crown without subjects. One must master both self and circumstance to leave a lasting mark. And in the annals of history, those who do both, those who think deeply yet act boldly, are remembered.
Tonight, we witnessed the clash of charisma and contemplation. Cleopatra demonstrated the power of influence, decisive action, and strategic mastery over the world around her. Seneca reminded us that the greatest triumph lies not in crowns or kingdoms, but in self-mastery, virtue, and the disciplined alignment of action with reason. Life challenges us to act boldly while reflecting deeply, to seize opportunity yet govern desire. Who won this debate of power versus inner mastery? Comment below and let us know. Then subscribe for more transformative clashes where the wisdom of the ages meets the icons of history.